Hey guys, it's Josh. Today I'm going to be showing you how to demonstrate creating a new virtual disk in VMware. We're going to create that on the server 1 and initialize it. We're going to create it at 10 gigabytes and we're going to make a simple volume using 5 gigabytes of that. We're going to convert it to dynamic from basic disk, and we're also going to extend the volume to add gigabytes to the unallocated space. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to demonstrate using diskpart.exe to extend the disk to the remaining 3 gigabytes of unallocated space. This uses commands, and it does the same thing as extending it in the computer management console, except for you're using commands this time. So let's get right to the beginning and show you how to create a disk. Now I'm going to show you in server 2, but this is going to be for server 1. Since server 2 is off, I'm just going to demonstrate it on this. Edit virtual machine settings, and you're going to want to go to add down here and hit hard disk and click next. Create a new virtual disk and make sure it's SCSI and click next. Now we want the new one to only be 10 gigabytes. So put in 10, and then you want to put it on single, and then click next, and then click finish. But I'm not going to click finish on this one because this is already made on the server 1, and I don't need to make a disk for server 2. So once you get that in there, you want to boot up your machine and go to Administrative Tools and click on Computer Management. So the Computer Management console will come up, and all you'll have is Volume C. But when you look down here, you'll have Disk 1, and it'll be unallocated and it's offline. So first we have to make it online, and then you have to right click and click Initialize Disk. Make sure it's on Disk 1 and keep it on MBR and click OK. So first, we've already demonstrated creating it, and we're going to create a simple volume using only 5 gigabytes of the 10 gigabyte disk. So you want to right click on the unallocated space and click New Simple Volume. You want to click Next, and it's going to ask you the size in megabytes, how big you want it to be. We want to use 5 gigabytes of the 10 gigabytes, so in megabytes that converts to about 5,000 megabytes. Click Next, and you can assign this to any letter you want, but we're just going to keep it at E for now, and click Next. And you want to keep this on NTFS, and you can name the volume anything you want. We're just going to keep it New Volume, and click Perform a Quick Format. Make sure that checkbox is marked. Click Next, and then click Finish. So that took about, well, 4.88 gigabytes, which is close to 5. So we have 5.12 gigabytes left, which is about 5,120 megabytes. We're going to let that initialize real quick. And so the next thing we're going to do is convert the disk 1 from basic to dynamic. So all you do to do that is to right click on the disk and click Convert to Dynamic Disk right here. You want to make sure disk 1 is marked and click OK. Click disk 1 and then click Convert. And then it pops up and tells you the operation you selected will convert the basic disk to dynamic. And it's pretty much just saying that you can't make the boot volume on a dynamic disk, so it's just precautioning you. So click yes, you want to continue, and let it do its thing. So now we have 4.8 gigabytes of a dynamic disk. So next we're going to do we're going to extend the 4.88 gigabytes into the unallocated space, and we're going to do 2 gigabytes of that. So all you do is right click on the new volume and click Extend Volume, and you just want to make sure disk 1 is over here and select the amount of space in megabytes. So what we want to do is 2 gigabytes, so that's about 2,000 megabytes. We're going to keep that number there though, the 237, and click next. Click finish, and it moves it up. So now we have about 3 gigabytes left of unallocated space, and for the new volume it bumped it up from 5 to 7. So now we have 7 gigabytes on the new volume E. Now to show you how to extend the volume further, I'm not going to use the computer management console. I'm going to use a command, and it uses diskpart.exe, and I'm going to extend it up to 3 more gigabytes. Well, I'm going to extend the remaining unallocated space right here. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to hit start and bring up the command console. So just put in CMD and click enter. So that brings up the command, and I want to move this up here just to show you the drive down here. And so the commands we're going to use are diskpart, diskpart, and that brings you to the diskpart program after you click continue, apparently. Okay, so now we're in diskpart.exe, and what we want to do is select the volume that you want to be extending, and you may not know what volume it is, so what you want to do is put in list volume, and it'll show you all the volumes you have. You want to do the E volume, or the one that you created, whatever letter you had on there. And for my case, it's volume 0. So what you want to do now is click or type in select volume, and for this case it's going to be 0. So we're going to put in select volume 0, and it says volume 0 is the selected volume. So now it knows what volume we want to extend. Now we have to tell it to extend the size, and let's see how much we have left. We have about 2,930 megabytes, so it's roughly 2 gigabytes. And I'm going to put in 930 megabytes. It might not be every single bit of it, but it'll be pretty close. So we want to do extend size equals 2,930 megabytes, and it wants you to tell you what disk you want to do that on. So we're just going to do space disk 1. Click enter, and you can see it move up. So now, maybe it wasn't all of the unallocated space, but it was pretty darn close. And if you want to go ahead and finish it off, it tells you how many megabytes is left. So you can just do extend volume or extend size, and it says right there 71 megabytes. So let's do 71 on disk 1, and you can watch it go all the way. Extend size. Maybe you have to select it. Select volume 0, and then do extend size equals 71 on disk 1. So you can watch it go ahead and bump all the way up. What I did first, the mistake that I made, was not putting a space between disk. You have to really watch it when you're doing commands like that, because the syntax is really touchy. But that's it for the diskpart.exe and the commands, and that'll be all for my tutorial. Thank you guys.